Our theme this year is superheroes, and our 4th grade theme is The Incredibles. So we're doing The Incredibles 4th grade. Introduce ourselves.
I'm Longmead Flanoy, and I teach math and science. So
We can see you.
Can't hear me.
Can't hear you.
Really not.
Your microphone.
No microphone's on. All right. Longmead Flanoy, I teach math and science right across the hallway. I came from 3rd grade last year. I'm so excited to be in 4th grade. I graduated from TCU, and I've been at Wingborne maybe 4 years now.
I'm Brooke Trevik. I teach language arts, which reading and writing, and social studies, and spelling. So that's been my thing. I have been at Wingborne for 2 years now. I've been teaching for 4 years. I came from psych care. But I've always taught language arts. I really love language arts, so it really works out. We're excited on weeks for our team this year. Excited.
We have the other teachers here with the 2 of us at the top, and then we have the partnerships, of course, by code. Ms. Wise and Ms. Kellen are on the other side of the building, near the recess doors and the 5th grade hallway. So your students will interact with these teachers as well, especially during extended learning time that we have daily. Ms. Dodden, Ms. Howden, and Ms. Word. Is that how that goes? And Ms. T.
Yeah.
They're at the end of this hallway, just kind of right at the corner. And they are in class supporting co-teachers here, Ms. Word and Ms. T.
And all of these can be found in your handbook in your student handbook, so don't worry about writing that down. Grading. Adequate time is given in class for class assignments. Unless a student has a specific modification, we don't give recess time to complete assignments. We do take them up, and they are graded based on the time they are given. It's not going to be like you have 5 minutes to do this entire assignment. Like they're given plenty of time and more to complete it in class. The only reason if it wasn't completed would be off-task behavior, or they didn't ask it, they didn't understand. So that's why we do that. And they will get a mark in their card for completing classwork if they're not completed. And we definitely use our judgment with that. If they're really working hard the whole time, we'll talk about things that can be done. But if they're goofing off and they're not working hard the whole time, then it is just taken up, taken as a grade, and their card is marked for that.
And of course, in my class, a lot of the times they have, for my homeroom in the mornings, they have time to get some assignments that are completed. So after they write in their planners, do their daily math, then they can use that time to complete any assignments that are they're still working on. We had a science folder that we've been working on since Thursday or Friday last week, and that's a part of, if you have some free time, make sure you're continuing to add to that foldable. So there's always more and more time that's given.
And this is becoming increasingly important now that we have the STAR. The STAR is a new tax test, which we'll talk about more in depth later, but it is a timed test, which is new. Same length as the tax, but it will be half the time to take it. It used to be an all day, take your time, use your strategies kind of thing. Now it's like you have 4 hours to get it done. So that's fun. Late work is accepted only for homework. We do accept it just for homework because a lot of homework is for a grade. If it is late one day, 10 points off. It's late 2 days, 20 points off. It's late 3 days, 30 points off. After 3 days, it will no longer be accepted. It'll go in as a 0 in the grade book. We don't call for late assignments. If they bring something late, like the day after, it's their job to bring it to us. Just simply because there is so much homework in 4th grade, and it's impossible for the teacher to keep up with each kid and each assignment and when it's due. So it's their responsibility, if they're bringing it late, to bring it to us and make sure that we have that. Tests count as 2 grades in the grade book. So anytime we have a test, and that does include spelling tests. Spelling tests will count 2 times in the grade book.
And a lot of times the common assessments at the end of the 6 weeks, that's normally in math what counts twice. It's the common assessment, which is like a big review of that whole 6 weeks and the skills that have been taught. Homework. For math, we have homework Monday through Thursday. You probably started to see that routine already. You'll see practice, addition, and subtraction facts in their planners every day. The first day of the week, I give the actual practice sheet, which kind of looks like the Fast Facts quiz, but it's just kind of a practice. And I told the kids they can break it down by, you'll study a couple rows each night or make it into flashcards. They have some of the same strategies from 3rd grade that they can use those same study skills in 4th grade. But for the other nights, it'll have practice, addition, subtraction facts. It might be practice all facts or whatever the skill is for that week. That will always be there. It won't always have actual paper that they need to use to practice, but they will have that as something that they need to study. Daily math quizzes are given every Thursday, and Fast Facts quizzes are Fridays. Just kind of a heads up for next week, since we'll have no school Monday, we'll push the Fast Facts and daily math all on Friday, so they won't have to have it earlier.
Daily edit. I don't know what is that for daily edit. It's not that bad. As of right now, it'll be due on Tuesdays. It'll be given Monday. It'll be due on Tuesdays. When we get closer to the writing STAR test, they'll start having it every night. While we're introducing it, it'll just be due on Tuesdays. We have a daily edit quiz every Friday. It is a quiz, not a test grade, but it'll just go into the grade book one time. Reading passages will be due on Wednesdays. And a quick side note, if the students on their homework don't use their strategies, it will not be considered complete. So when we teach the strategies for weeks in class before we release it to them to do it at home. So they know if they're not using all their strategies on their homework, they're just flying through and just answering questions, then it won't be counted complete. It'll be counted incomplete. They'll have to fill out a pink slip. They'll have to get a mark in their card, finish it, and bring it back the next day.
What do you mean by strategies? Is that like showing your work or?
Showing your work. So in reading passages, we teach certain strategies. Last year it was save strategies. It'll be changing this year simply because we no longer have the tax test. It's timed. So it'll be extra strategies, which the kids are pretty excited about. They don't have to do as much.
Yeah, I heard all about that.
Yeah.
So they just write, like, I'm confused on reading and writing. I mean, I get the math part, like show your work, whatever, but on like reading.
Well, we
you're
teach
saying
the strategies in class. It takes weeks to get it in their heads, and we send home a sheet that explains it.
Okay.
They are expected to take notes. It's expected to stay in their homework for.
Mm-hmm.
We also have packets of the homework once we finally start sending it home. The first couple ones will be done with the strategies, done in class together, so that if they forget, they can look back at what they learned in class.
So they're actually like writing something as they're reading stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll wait for that.
Yes.
It's just like,
They kind of write as they read. They're thinking as they read. They're reading. When they read the questions, they have to identify what kind of question this is. They have to prove their answer in the story.
Okay. I'm just going like, how are you gonna know there's using strategy?
Yeah. They definitely do. And same thing with daily edit. As we continue with daily edit, they learn new strategies and they're expected to use those on their homework. And spelling is due on Thursdays. Unit tests are on Fridays. Spelling has changed this year. We've developed a new spelling curriculum. Right now, there's no dictation for spelling for a grade. Just the test will be counted twice. However, since it is important for students to learn how to use these things in context, because what happens is kids learn how to spell something, and then they go to write a story and they spell it wrong. So it's really important to help them bridge that gap. So I'll continue to give dictation on the spelling test on the back. It just won't be graded. They're just going to have to try their best. So if you see that on the back, don't panic. It's not for a grade. It's just extra practice.
But will you show them if they do get something wrong, you will mark it on there? Okay.
And science isn't on here, but every once in a while there will be science homework as well, and it's usually due the very next day. Most assignments for homework, as far as math is concerned, it's due the very next day unless we specify in the planner. It'll say, like for instance, a science assignment, it's coming up to decorate the outside of your science spiral with lots of science words and science concepts. That'll be due Monday or Tuesday when we get back. So it will specify if it's due on a different day.
We try to break up the language arts homework because there's so much of it, unfortunately. That's why we have one due on Tuesday, one due on Wednesday, one due on Thursday, and then the reading logs are always due on Friday. Reading logs are expected to have every day in class and at home. It's something that should travel with them at all times. because we do take it for right on Friday,
And is that, like, is the expectation that that is full, or is it just whatever it is?
whatever it is. Eventually, I told him right now the expectation is you need to read every night.
Yeah.
Eventually, we'll set time limits for that. You know, okay, if you're not reading 20 minutes a night, we need to work on that. But as of right now, we're just trying to teach them to keep an accurate log of what they're doing. And so
I just
that's-
wanna make sure he's telling me what he's supposed to tell me.
Yes, they need to be reading at home
Gotcha. No,
close
he's
to every
reading, I
night.
just wanna make sure.
Okay.
he's reading.
And do y'all send the
Speak to
books
me.
home that they're supposed to be reading, or do we just let them read something?
Read something. And eventually, not this next week, week after, our library will be open and we'll be able to go to the library and they're supposed to take their library books home. So they'll have books that they should be bringing to and from class every day.